I have a confession to make. I don't play a lot of 18-hole rounds of golf at my home course. Now that I'm doing this pretty much full time, I tend to only play 9 holes when I'm filming, or if I'm out practicing, I'll play a few holes, or if Kelly comes out, we just play a few holes. The only time I play a full 18-hole round of golf at my course seems to be my monthly 59 watch from the Blue Tees. And it got me thinking, man, I gotta play some full 18 holes more often, especially if I want to play tournament golf every once in a while. In the year and a half that I've been out at South Hampton, I've probably only played the Gold Tees a full 18 holes like 8 times. And I would say I think my low round would be 69 or 70, so that'll be kind of our rough benchmark for this episode. I'm gonna go play 18 holes. Got a little bit of rain on and off today by myself on a busy day, so it's gonna be a slow pace, like real golf. And let's just see how I can play right now from my actual tees. So the first hole here at Southampton is a pretty straightforward 412-yard par 4. Pretty hard fairway to hit, so I'm just trying to cut something off the bunker. And if it does make its way to the right rough, it's not the end of the world. Just a nice smooth swing to start the round. Second shot here, I did find the rough. I've got 145 yards to a middle pin. Just want to get this thing a little left of the pin cutting, and if it gets there, it gets there. If not, left is fine. Hit this one pretty good, just release to the back of the green. Left myself a longer birdie putt to start the day, but great way to kind of get a feel for the pace of the greens. Hit a pretty good putt down here, a couple feet short. Ho-hum tapping, easy par. Second hole, this bunker up on the right is about 285 to carry. Have a little bit of a breeze helping, so I'm aiming just left of it, and if it cuts, it'll cover the bunker, and if I pull it a hair, it won't get me into any trouble. So yeah, that's the plan on this hole. Pretty good swing here. Actually, really good swing here. I hit this one quite well. Little bleeder right in the middle of the fairway. Got 104 yards here. Slight breeze at the back. Definitely want to stay below the hole, so I just took a little lob wedge to try to keep it below the hole, and I made a really good swing and was kind of surprised that this thing flew about 20 feet past the hole. So I've got a downhiller here, just snapped in the middle right there. So kind of a birdie opportunity missed, but still 2 pars to start the day isn't the end of the world. Third hole, 175 yards. Little breeze helping off the right front pin. Really all I need to do is carry the front bunker. That's why I went with 8-iron. If I hit 7-iron, it brought long into play, and long is no good. Kind of jumped on this, pulled it a hair. Found myself past pin high, kind of surprising. I guess there was a little bit more wind up there than I thought. So definitely giving myself a test with this long range 50-footer for birdie. Left this thing quite a bit short, kind of surprising. Really solid putt here, just barely fell in, but good par. And on to a birdie opportunity with the fourth hole. I know it says 360 on the card. On a straight line, it's probably about 330 to the flag, 340. So this is one where I'm just really trying to get all of it and kind of start it just right of those trees on the left and cut it back. And I hit this one really great, right up to the front little neck of the green, leaving myself about 40 or so yards, 43 yards, middle pin. Really can be aggressive on this one. Just landed a little bit short. It'll kick up a little bit to the left. Really licking my chops here, and this one definitely had a chance of going in. So I'm thinking, even though I can't see it, I should have a few feet for birdie. I was right, kind of released just past the hole, about a 4-footer for birdie. Get on the right side of par and a birdie on a hole where you're expecting to make a birdie. Fifth hole, this is probably one of the trickier holes. I know it's 426, but I like to take a 3-wood here. It doesn't bring that bunker into play, and I can try to turn it and get some chase, but kind of hung this one out a little bit. But I know, hey, I'm going to have 150, 160, even if I make a bad swing like I did there. And it's not the end of the world. I've got 168 here. Back pin, cannot mess with going long to this pin. So I'm just chipping a little 8-iron. trying to get to the middle of the green, and this swing was just probably the best swing I made all day. It was right at it, and kind of snuck one away here, hitting it just 2-3 feet from the hole. You don't expect to do that from 168, but you gladly take it. And it was still a long enough putt that I had to pay attention to it, just outside of tap-in range. And, hit a good putt. Almost missed, but thankfully it dropped in. But 2 birdies in a row going into a par 5. That's a really good feeling. Really licking my chops. This one here, just try to take something up at the little dip in the trees, just right at the bunker. And if I cut it, even better. If not, should be no problem. Unfortunately, I jumped on this one a little bit and really pulled it. Thankfully not too far that it's out of play, but definitely not going to be an easy second shot on the par 5. Found myself in a little bit of trouble here at first. I was thinking I could hit a wedge up and over. I made a few swings and just did not like it. Did not seem like it was the smart play. So adjust the camera. So because I'm going low with this one, switch to a 5-iron. Trying to just kind of hook this thing out and around and get myself back into play. And hopefully inside 150 yards so I can at least have a wedge into the par 5. And a look at birdie. It worked. I did what I wanted to, but that little bounce that it took kind of took the hook off of it, so it did chase up into the fairway bunker, and I had 139 yards out of, I was in the water, so I moved it out of the water. So just hitting a little pitching wedge here, and this was a really good swing. I was really, really happy with it. Unfortunately, it went a little long, so, I mean, we're on the green, but obviously having 40 feet for birdie on a par 5 is a bit of a disappointment. You're thinking you can have a really good opportunity for birdie. Hit a good putt, didn't go in, but it's almost like, okay, I made par here. Wanted to make birdie there, but 5 and 6 kind of traded themselves off. Here we go, 7th hole. I like this hole, just trying to hit a 6-iron, a little short, because anything that lands short will kick up to the middle of this green. Unfortunately, just kind of jumped and released a little early, got it into the bunker, not in the best shape. Rain started to come down here. Had to leave the camera in the cart. So a little zoom in action. Bunker's completely washed away, so I didn't want to blade this thing. Tried to really dig and dug a little bit too much, just kind of plopped it out there. Hit a really good putt here, and it lipped out. So first bogey of the day on the 7th hole. We're back to 1 under. It's raining a lot, so no camera behind me. Just trying to crack a good driver here, and I really did, right over the bunker. Good shape, not a lot of roll with how wet it is. I had 150 yards here. Just going with a 9-iron, nothing crazy. Back pin, so I don't want to be long. Just try to 3/4 smooth this thing. Hit it pretty good, just maybe drew it a little bit too much, and it got to the back left fringe. So we had a putt at birdie, but not a really makeable putt. Hit a good one here, but just came up a little bit short. Tap in par, never a bad thing on the 8th hole. 9, I'm just trying to take this thing. Really, it's a wide open fairway. Just hit a good one here, and if I can cut it kind of around the corner, we're laughing. Hit a good one, and it did cover the bunker. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the hard bounce because it's so wet, like you can see. Now I've got 240 yards to a front pin. Got my 2-iron, and I hit this one really, really well. I thought it was going to be money. It was right at the flag. Give it a little run, look at it. It landed about a few paces short of the green and just stopped dead. So I've got a pretty straightforward up and down for birdie. I hit a good chip here. Probably 3-4 feet just below the hole. Not a gimme, but not a stressful putt. Right, through the front 9, the rain has come. A little heavy there on that 9th hole. This camera is not weather treated though, so that's why some of these last few holes, the shots have been coming from the cart. But I'm gonna switch. I've got my phone tripod holder there, just because the phone is weather treated, so I can get back to some better angles here on the back 9 while it's still raining. Pretty good 9 holes. Happy with how I'm hitting it. 2 under, not bad. So hopefully I can keep hitting greens on the back 9 and do more of what we did on the front 9. Just trying to smash this one kind of over the bunker on the right. If I can draw it, great. Overcooked this one. Thankfully, that bunker on the left is probably about 300 out. So I stayed short of it. Wet ground, it didn't release up into it, and it is rough. So Good place to be. Obviously, you'd like to be in the fairway. 100 yards. I tried to channel the shot I hit on 2, like that little tight lob wedge. This thing was all over it. Felt awesome. A little high because of the rough, the wet rough. Landed super, super soft. Makeable birdie putt, and I pulled it. Bit of a disappointment to hit a good wedge and then not a great putt. So tap in par. We're still 2 under. 11th hole. I love this tee shot. A little bit of wind helping, so I can take a bit more aggressive lines. I'm trying to take this right over the bunker. There's a little W in the tree that I want to land this thing or aim at, and perfect little cut right back exactly where I wanted it to be, leaving myself another short little wedge in 104 yards. Tried to channel that shot from the hole before. Got a little steep, so squirted it out to the right just a little bit. Not the best wedge in the world, but when I walked up to this putt, I had a really good feeling about it. Uphill into the grain, can be really, really aggressive, and boom, drive for show, putt for dough. Nice little birdie. We're 3 under. This hole here, 175. Rain has stopped. Just trying to hit a little 7-iron, front pin. So a little long's fine, a little short's fine. Just don't want to be left or right. I was really, really happy with this one. It was all over it. But I guess in the wake of the rain, the air has gotten a little heavy, and I came up short of the green. Easy chip, though, can be really aggressive, but I hit a bad shot there. Just landed it 7 feet too far. So I've got a downhill tricky putt, and we make a bogey. Another bogey on a par 3. Disappointing. Fall back to 2 under, but we're going to a par 5 now. 13th hole, par 5. It's a short one, but it can play longer if you don't hit the right line on the tee shot. Ideally, you want to hit a little draw around the corner, but there's a chimney in the distance that's always my target, so I'm aiming right at that thing. Hit a pretty good one here. Just tried to kind of turn it and got a little high with it, but thankfully it wasn't a bleeder. It was just a high one that didn't turn, but we're in great shape. Have about 214 yards. Pin is dead in the middle on the right side of this green. Really screaming to be hit close. All I got to do is cover that front bunker, which is about 202 to cover. If it lands just over, it'll kick forward. If it lands middle of the green, it'll stay. So I'm thinking this could be a really good opportunity to have a putt for eagle, and this swing was probably the best swing on the back 9. I loved it. It was right at the flag, but it came up just a little short, probably 2 yards short at the top of the bunker. Pretty disappointing, but thankfully, it was a tricky lie, but I could just throw it up in the air and left about 4 feet for birdie. Ho-hum, we're back to 3 under, going to the 14th hole. One of the trickier holes on the golf course. It's 440 yards. I never hit driver here because it just gets a little too narrow at about 290. So I take 3-wood and I make a terrible swing here. Just heel it, neck it. So I'm going to have a long second shot into here. But again, I'm in play on the trickier, harder holes. 191, trying to maybe flight a 6-iron, but I unfortunately really soft fairway. I just lose my concentration, and no need to shot trace this thing because I chunked it about 80 yards, or not even, about 70 yards, trickled across the cart path. So I've got 95 yards here. But again, I was feeling good with this type of shot, so I just tried to channel that from 10 and 11, and I hit a good shot. It was right at the flag, maybe 25 feet short, uphill putt. I mean, you want to make this for par, but you don't want to get too stupid and gun it by. So pretty careless bogey, but I deserved it. I lost my concentration on the tee shot and the second shot. So now we're going to a really tricky par 3, 210 yards. That flag, where that is, it's a small landing area. You almost want to be in the middle of the green. So that's why I'm hitting 4-iron, thinking it'd be enough to cover the bunker. And just get me to the middle of the green, not really worried about the flag. And this thing was great. It was right at it. I thought I was going to be 5 feet. Turns out it was short of the green. The ball was going nowhere, but thankfully it's pretty straightforward pitch. Soft greens can just let it land and trickle on down there. So we got through this difficult stretch of 14, 15, 1 over, but thankfully we'd already made 2 birdies on this side. So, oh no, I made a bogey. So we're even par on the back 9, getting to 16. So I'm hoping these last 3 I can get one back. There's a flagpole in the distance that I just aim at and try to smash this driver. If I turn it, it's gold. If I cut it, it can't reach that bunker. So I love this tee shot. Just aim at that flag and give it a go. When I pumped this thing, fairway, you can hear so wet. So I just had to take a little bit of relief from casual water. 89 yards. So I'm thinking of that shot I hit on 14. Just trying to do the exact same thing. Just a little soft flighted lob wedge. Want to keep this below the hole if I could. The green's not crazy slope, but it's nice to be below this hole. You're putting into the grain uphill. Just trying to not basically dig into that wet turf. I thought this thing was all over it. Super shallow. Great shot. Didn't dig, but unfortunately it came up just a little short. Got about 20-ish feet for birdie, and I thought this thing was going to move back in the middle. It did not. Not a great opportunity for birdie, but we're still making par. We're bouncing back from some bad swings for a few holes. Made 2 good swings. So here, I'm just focusing on making another good swing. There's the red tees that I try to cut this to with my line. There's another little tree in the distance that I set as my starting line. Hit a really good one here. It just didn't cut back to where I wanted it to. So I'm going to have a little interesting second shot. 244 for my second shot. I was kind of torn. Do I want to hit a low hook 3-iron and try to run it back to the green? It's a back pin. Front of the green was probably only like 220. I was really torn. I took my 2-iron and just said, hey, just try to hit it high, and if it draws, it draws. The bunker's not the worst place to be. Oh, and I hit such a good shot here. It was just hugging the tree line, hugging the bunker line. It just fell a little right, so it fell into the bunker, but I knew this would be a pretty easy up and down, tight bunker, lots of green to work with. Came out a little higher than I thought it would. Left myself a tricky-ish birdie putt, just longer than I wanted it to be more than anything. Just right to left, but I could be aggressive. It was into the grain. Greens are slowed down a little bit from the rain, so it was something, just be aggressive. I made such a good stroke, trusted it. There we go, back to 3 under, and on to 18. I love this tee shot too, because if I do turn it, I'm just laughing, and if not, if I hit it straight, I've got about a wedge in. So I'm aiming just left of these bunkers here. I pumped this one. Little pull, but that's kind of okay on this tee shot. I walked up here because I thought maybe I hit into them. Thankfully, it was cart path only, so the cart was there, not them. So here we go. Last shot, 105 yards. And I've had this shot all day, which was kind of interesting. So I was just channeling that swing I made on 2, that swing I made on 10. Just a little 3/4 tight, strong lob wedge. And this thing was money, just a little right of the flag. And it was the first shot of the day that actually released. I couldn't believe it. It landed a little bit past the hole and it chased down there. So I just figured, hey, let's make this one. And we gave it a try, but that was it. That was it for the day. Would have been nice to end with 2 birdies, but I'll take a 69. Smooth little 69. Not bad. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope you enjoyed that voiceover. Actually made it a lot easier for me to just play golf out there and not have to worry about talking about the shot. It's like I was talking to my caddy in my head while I was kind of preparing what the voiceover would be. A little squirrely there for a couple iron shots in the back 9, but we fought back pretty well. Didn't miss a shot, 16, 17, and 18 to get 1 birdie back there. Yeah, so 69, that's our record from the Golds. We've set it. Now let's see if I can do this every few weeks and try to go lower and lower and lower and lower. Really hope you enjoyed that. Let me know down below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace!